Hey Capricorn, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. General reading, take what works, leave what doesn't. So I already started this reading like a couple seconds ago, but we had a little glitch there. What you got was the Hermit upside down for overall for the reading, and this which like sort of caused me to turn things off and make sure my deck was, I don't usually take reversals in this part, in this way here. So Hermit in reverse can be not following your own heart, not following your own path, and that's overall for the reading. So that might be something that you're considering, is maybe doing what other people want you to do, caring more about what other people think than about your own unique path. You may be considering some uncautious, uncareful action, because the Hermit used to be called prudence. So yeah, trying to see too far ahead, not listening to your own intuition. Yeah, that's Hermit in reverse. Not listening to your own intuition, but caring a lot about, it's almost like polling other people or making decisions based solely on how other people are going to react, not on your own internal processes. And maybe it's talking about like not having taken time for yourself or time out to really get in touch with who you are now, right? Because we're always changing, so it's important to take some time out now and again to reconnect with who we are today. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Interesting. What a mix of energies. Overall pretty interesting here though. So 2 of Cups here in the recent past. We have a connection. We have a deep personal connection with someone. It can have a little bit of soulmate energy, but it can also just be like a really good conversation where there was a lot of sharing of emotional depth, emotional connection. The conversation or the relationship or the connection somehow was very healing. Maybe it was a healing time with someone, a healing connection to someone. There was truth exchanged, like emotional truths were exchanged. There was like some patience maybe was involved in the conversation or in the connection. Maybe you're in 2 different places with this person, but the emotional connection was still able to be exchanged. You may be emotionally entwined and connected with this person. It's overall very healthy. It was a very healthy experience or connection. Sharing. But no more. In your current situation, you have 5 of Pentacles. Feeling left out, excluded. And maybe this is by choice. Maybe you've had to make a difficult decision that excludes you. This is interesting because this one is like there are resources available. You could include yourself into something, but for whatever reason, you are choosing not to right now. You're choosing not to avail yourself of nearby resources or nearby connections. There may be a sense of choosing poverty in a way, like not going to work or not availing yourself of a resource. But there can often be a reason for that, right? If there are strings attached to this resource, maybe you don't want to avail yourself of the resource. Maybe there's been a disconnect in the relationship where you could like barge your way back in, but you don't want to. You're choosing not to. It's not like there's a sense of abandonment here, of having been abandoned by perhaps an institution, perhaps a group that you were counting on, that you thought was supposed to be inclusive or supposed to help you or supposed to, and there could be some feeling excluded from that. And even if you make the choice yourself to not further engage or not keep asking or not avail yourself of resources, even if you choose not to do that, you can still feel sad about it, you know, like I wish there weren't strings attached with this, or I wish, you know, I wish I could go to work, or I wish I could do something. There could be some unemployment here. There could be, and it's not that you're not availing yourself of any resources. It's just like a certain resource or a certain connection or a certain situation that you're not going to participate in, and you're not participating in right now. And there could be a sense of needing to protect someone else, and that's why you're not participating in it. But what's interesting is Five of Pentacles is excluding yourself. The Hermit in the upright, if this had come out in the upright, would have been excluding yourself for a purpose, for a reason. Because you don't want to, you know, because you're heading off on your own to find your own truth and your own inner light, and you know, you're off meditating by yourself. But this has a sense of these two together. The exclusion may feel very involuntary, feeling left out. Maybe a group went and did something without inviting you, and you're very concerned about what this group thinks, or what they, yeah, if the Hermit had been in the upright, this Five of Pentacles would look more like a noble purpose, excluding yourself for a noble purpose. But this isn't that. All right, well, hopes, fears, inner landscape. Oh, here we have the Eight of Wands. We have communication. So it could be like you're connected to someone, but you're like, well, I'm going to be quiet and see if they reach out. I'm going to see if they communicate with me. Because you're more, it's not that you're like, well, I need to go take time for myself. It could be more like, I wonder if they're going to bother to reach out. I wonder if they're going to notice that I'm gone. I wonder if they're going to notice that I'm not communicating with them. Or I wonder if they're going to notice that I left. And you're feeling, there could be a sense of feeling sorry for yourself. And so, I mean, this almost reminds me of like that childlike energy where it's like, I'm going to go, you know, off and cry by myself and see if anybody pays attention or sees me. It reminds me of like sort of middle school energy where, you know, someone will like storm out of the party. Someone storms out of the party and then they get mad because no one came and checked on them, even though they didn't like speak up or say anything. Just with the Hermit in reverse, that's a little bit of what this seems like, is like going off, wanting someone to like follow you or check up on you. And it has more to do with eliciting a response from them, wanting to be chased or wanting to be looked after, which is a normal thing, wanting to be looked after, but not like really putting yourself in a position where you are being looked after or where people know that you're being looked after. So in a way, like that, like energy of like excluding yourself, leaving a situation, but really longing for communication. It's more about them and like, how are they going to respond, and less about like, I need some alone time. It's more about like, you're getting alone time, but it's because, or somebody's getting alone time because they want to see what your reaction is to that, which are two different energies. The Hermit in the upright and the Hermit in the reverse are two entirely different energies. With this Five of Pentacles in the mix, it looks a little bit like somebody here has like removed themselves from a situation, but for the purpose of like making point, because we're still longing for communication. But it could be that you know, that communication does have a lot of strings attached. There are really good reasons why, but it almost looks here that it's not necessarily like someone's on a quest for their own truth, but someone's on sort of a quest to like see what happens. Or they still want the communication. You still want communication. You're fantasizing about communication, but you're not reaching out. It has more to do with them than it has to do with you, is what it seems like. And then again, we have the Six of Cups in reverse. No, we are not going back to this place. Like, there's no return. They're not coming back. They're not returning. They're not running after you. They're not trying to find out what's going on with you, what went wrong, what happened here. You're disconnected from, and it always looks like sibling energy, but you're disconnected from someone you used to be connected with. You used to be connected with someone. You've disconnected, you're not reaching out, and yet you're hoping that they'll reach out, or you're thinking about communicating with them. You might be thinking about reaching out to them. But something about this silence is more about them than it is about you just needing your space. It's more about trying to see something. I don't know, like, that can be a hard message to receive, but there's not a return. Someone's not coming back, or your silence really hasn't elicited what you thought it was going to elicit. Your silence isn't really like, if you withdrew from a situation hoping someone would chase after you, they're not. You're not reconnecting with someone from your childhood. You're not reconnecting with something that used to make you happy or used to be very fulfilling. It's MIA. In your externals, though, around you is Four of Wands. So there's a leveling up. Maybe someone around you got engaged. Maybe someone around you has gotten a promotion. Or maybe this person that you're connecting with things are starting to take off for them. They're moving on, and maybe you're feeling a little left out and left behind while this person moves on to a better life. There may have been an announcement of someone's success or someone's engagement, or someone maybe made an announcement about how, great things are going for them. You're either not reaching out. You might not be reaching out to someone that you used to connect with. Things are going really well for them. Or there's some sort of promotion or something in your environment, but maybe you're not the one getting it, right? You're in this Five of Pentacles energy, focusing on what you lack, focusing on what you don't have, and someone else is getting something. Because the Four of Wands can be like a promotion, a leveling up, hitting some sort of like real level. Like, the wands are all this energy and spirituality and creativity and energy, and then Four of Wands is sort of like, well, that energy is hit a milestone in reality. Like, maybe this was all energetic and theoretical and passionate over here, but now the Four of Wands comes in, and we've got, this is real. It's solidifying. And this Eight of Wands does often look like, right, these passions being spoken and then grounding into reality, hitting the earth and rooting there, right? They're going towards the earth. They're not going away from the earth. So it's like these ideas and these passions being spoken brings something into reality. And that's sort of where your mind's at. What your hope is either to receive communication or to give communication. You're feeling left out. Someone else is successful. And your to-do list is the World card, which is the ending. It's the end of the chapter or the end of the book. It's the end. Maybe it's like understanding that something is complete. There's a completion here. You're not who you were a year ago. You're not where you were at a year ago. It's a pretty big ending, or a pretty big completion. There's nothing more to be said, or there's nothing more to be done here. If you were like waiting for something else, or waiting for someone to come after you, or waiting for someone to realize something, there's like a realization of some sort of like completion. Like, no, really, they're not coming back. You've got to be the only tarot reader in the world that's like saying that. It looks like they're not coming back. Like, it's over. If you were there, they've like moved on and moved up or something. There's just completion here. Game over. And maybe you need to do something. Maybe you need to do some sort of closing off, cauterizing something, some wound or something, or closing something off. She almost seems to be like shutting a door to me, or like shutting something, like, and that's the end of that. Taking down the laurels, taking down the decorations. It's strange. The world card can mean so many things. It can also mean, like, you know, there's like a couple cards in the deck that kind of like, well, this encompasses everything. Like, what isn't this about? This is about everything. And the world card of all the cards is a card that feels like it could be about everything. Everything. And there's a sense of like, looking back, or like the after party, or like cleaning up the party. It's just complete. All, and like these elements are, I don't know. You've seen what needs to be seen. What's said has been said. There's like a silence energy, except for the lion here, who's sort of, the lion always feels very emotional to me here. We have the lion back here in the Two of Cups, this like, maybe there was something that wasn't said, but it's too late now. I don't know, that seems so sad, but there's just this, the world card can also be, it can also be like big movements outside of our control. Like, we don't really have a say, and there's like a certain level of acceptance of where we're at in the cosmos. Yeah, we have a lot to say, but also, like, we were born at this time in history. We are, you know, the economy, the weather, earth movements, planetary movements. There's just like so much that's just so out of our control. It's like the whole world. This can also be a travel card, but I just feel this sense of completion. If you were waiting for something or wanting something from someone you connected with in the past, they've moved on and it's complete, and there's a sense of acceptance of your place in the cosmos, which is, you don't always get to have a say. And maybe there's like something final to say here that you've been thinking about, but it's just a completion. It's just, the year is complete. The cycle is complete. And then where we're Nine of Cups, you're going to be really happy, especially if you close out a cycle or close off a situation or bring something to a final close. You're proud of yourself. You did it. You're, you know, maybe you're having to exclude yourself from, like, you know, maybe this was a drinking buddy or something. You're not going back. There's been a couple readings like that over the last couple weeks of like, you're not going back. Whatever changes you've been through, there's like a puberty quality to it as far as like growth that you can't go back on. And that's what I'm seeing here too, is like growth or like an ending. You can't go back to this beautiful, it was a beautiful place. There was a beautiful connection there. But there's a sense of not going back. And maybe this Hermit in reverse is about not wanting to be alone, or not wanting to be, there's something involuntary about the aloneness, or unpurposeful, unintentional, or about the aloneness. It has more, the aloneness has more to do with like other people than it has to do with you, you know, seeking out your own destiny, which is would be like the, you know, your own unique destiny. And this is more like, I don't think you want this, but there's a sense of acceptance. And I think that this Nine of Cups is like, you're going to be really proud of who you are, of your emotional growth, of, and there is happiness. There is happiness in your future. You are going to be proud of your growth, and maybe this World card is just something that needs to, that completing something. Maybe it's a project you need to complete and you're going to be really proud of yourself for it. But we have like Two of Cups, and Six of Cups is reverse. So Two of Cups, there once was a happy connection. Six of Cups reverse, it's not going back to that. You're not returning to that happy connection. And the Nine of Cups is like, at some point, with acceptance will come pride and joy about it and fulfillment. This is like completion, and then this is fulfillment. So take that as you want, but this is like something's not coming back. Something from the past isn't coming back. Allow it to complete, accept the completion, and after that will come some kind of fulfillment, emotionally fulfilling. All right, I'm looking at these chiromancy cards, or synchronicity cards, to bring up some, but I don't know. I guess we wanted to keep talking here. That's all of them. Everything's a synchron. Okay, well, if that's how you want it. Oh, okay. Well, we have very two unique. This did not emerge the way I thought it was going to emerge, but butterfly spirit transformation. That's what I'm seeing here with this. Like the World card is like some old cycle is very much over. You're not going back to it. They're not coming back. Some old cycle is very much over here. And there's an emergence, right? Like if anything's a puberty card, it's this sort of emergence. The butterfly can't go back to being the caterpillar. The transformation is complete and fulfilled, and it can't go back. You can't go back to being a caterpillar, even if you wanted to. There are a lot of changes like that. You know, I work with a lot of younger people in my day job, and I don't know why this is coming up, but one thing, you know, there are a lot of changes that like, we don't need to push. You don't need to be worried about it, you know? If you don't, they're just very natural. I mean, puberty is like the most obvious change, where our bodies literally change and they can't go back to being, we can't go back to being a child again. So, or to having a child's body, or to having, we can't go back there. And I think that there are a lot more like emotional and gradual changes that happen in our life that are very natural. So like people in their like 50s and 60s will tell you like, oh, it's got to be like this, you have to learn this. But really it's like a process. And, you know, maybe a majority of people by the time they're 50 and 60, like that, it's normal. You don't have to struggle and fight to get there though. Like it's just this normal unfolding. Yeah, I mean, I think like a lot of teenagers struggle to get up early in the morning. It's a lot of studies have been done about that. They struggle to get up early in the morning, and somehow these like 50-year-olds running everything are telling them there's some sort of moral thing wrong with them. They have to figure out how to enjoy getting up early, and because that's the right thing to do, and that's how you get a lot done with your day. It's easier to get up early in the morning when you're 50. It's a natural process. When you're a teenager, it's not easy. So why are these 50-year-olds telling, you know, it's just this natural unfolding. And that's a little bit of what I'm seeing here. And with this World card is there's like some sort of natural unfolding. It's just time for this to happen. And the timing's been out of your control, and you don't have to push yourself to be, you know, ready to have kids. Maybe you're never going to be ready, but when you're ready, you'll be ready. You know, like maybe that is a process that you're going to experience or are experiencing. These are just examples, right? So this transformation, butterfly spirit, some sort of very natural, normal transformation happening here. Maybe something that bothered you in the past is no longer bothering you, but is actually kind of, you might be kind of proud of it. Like, oh, okay. I set some good boundaries. It felt bad at the time, but now that I'm here, now that I've accepted this as necessary, I feel actually pretty good about it, you know? And then we have rainbow waterfall miracles. Oh, so as far as synchronicities are concerned, we could be looking, well, we've got butterflies all over right here. And we've got pearls, we've got clams. Maybe these are all things that are going to come up for you over the next little bit. Just reminders that you're right where you need to be, right? Like what I was talking about, you're right where you need to be. You know, If you're not 50, don't try to be 50. If you're not 40, don't try to be 40. If you're not 30, don't try to be 30. You're right where you need to be. Everything's unfolding very naturally and normally here. So rainbow waterfall miracles. So looking for rainbows, looking for a waterfall perhaps, or just noticing, not necessarily looking. If you want to go look for waterfalls, go for it. And then rainbow butterflies here. But it says rainbow waterfall miracles. And miracles to me, again, is something that happens it happens outside yourself. You don't have to push them. You can't make miracles happen. They're things that come to you and land sort of in your lap. And it's all in the flow of things. And hopefully they're a little bit exciting and fun, right? But so it's reminding me of this world card too. This like, I want to say helplessness, but that has such a negative connotation. Whatever the most positive connotation of helplessness is, of like this effortless movement through life and through the stages of life, is basically what I'm seeing here. All right, and then a little prayer for our Capricorns. Majestic moose, bravery, grit, durability. Horned beast of the forest, show me how to stand mighty and proud. I love this because this is exactly what this man is doing here in this Nine of Cups, standing mighty and proud, being proud of themselves, proud of their actions, proud of who they are, and proud of where they've come. So, cool. All right. Oh, over on Vimeo, I'm doing love readings. If you want to join me over there, that would be great. I do charge a little bit for those videos, just for the energy exchange. And I'm doing love readings on whatever decks strike my fancy at the moment that I start the reading. So join me over there if you want. If not, we'll chat in a little while. Ciao.